Welcome back, everybody. This is MDawg, and yeah, obviously we're doing something completely different. If you saw the last episode, we finally got to 75% marine, so a lot to explore there. But that did sort of free me up to feel like, hey, we can start doing some other things. So that's what we're doing here. Some other things. First of all, let me show you. We're at the same spot on both accounts, by the way, and let me pull up what we're using here. On the lower level alt account, SaltyMDawg. It's twice chat. All right, we have a 24 hook and red worms on this first one. We're throwing it a 10-meter clip here at winding 102, 112. Same thing on this one, except the only difference is a 22-meter hit clip. Now, you may notice, and this one is back to 24 size hook, 10-meter clip. If I said that weird, sorry. And we have regular worm on this one. Now, you may notice earlier in my stream, I was actually fishing from right here and casting 10 meters towards the church. So technically, it may look like we're fishing in a completely different position by casting 10 meters in this direction. We're going to do this on both accounts. I actually think it's not that different of a position since it's only a 10-meter clip. But, you know, for what it's worth, it is a little different. Okay, on this one, we're using the 6.8 sandy colored line and sinker with 24 hook red worm on line 1. We should have 22 hook with red worm, same setup here except for the hook difference, 10-meter clip. And did I show you where we are on the map? There you go. That's where we are on the map. And then this final one, we're using 24 hook. Do we want to do red worm or do we? I think we want to do red worm. Smaller leader. Notice a much smaller leader on this third one. Okay. So, what I found earlier today on my main account, obviously the reason to do this spot initially for me at least, was to attempt to get the Donit's Ruff trophy. If you don't know, the Donit's Ruff is a fairly rare fish, which supposedly, since the Norwegian update, according to the patch notes, has been made slightly less rare. So still very rare, still very difficult to get the trophy, but not quite as bad as it used to be, is how I would interpret that. By the way, real quick, let me show you. We do have a few fish in net on the main account. All these were caught on a float rod that was set up like this with double red worm sandwich bait 24 hook. And the reason why I did that is because I was sitting here waiting for it to get late enough in the day to start this video. And I accidentally had started happy hour by digging in the dirt. And so I was like, well, float fishing is not quite 100%. There's a crayfish. Maybe I should just go ahead and do a little float fishing. Now, one reason why I decided to go ahead and do this test is because I really want to see, with the current bite rate and the fish we're going to catch on our especially SaltyMDawg. Ooh, look at this blue bream right here, by the way. 793 experience, another type of fish, and it's also going to be pretty nice silver. I didn't even know that blue bream were possible here, but that's very cool. I actually did so well in this spot on my main account earlier today while trying to catch the Donit's Ruff that I realized that it's just possible that this spot is good enough silver-wise to be almost as good as a regular bream spot. And obviously it's a lot easier fishing. And you have a chance to catch a really rare trophy. Or at least some good versions of a really rare fish. You could also get lucky on a couple cafe orders. I'm not saying it's better than bream. I'm just saying, for me at least, when I've tried to fish bream lately, it's felt like they've just been a teeny bit down. And so this might actually be an alternative in terms of silver per 45 minutes. And also because of the bite rate, a decent way to level up bottom fishing. So there's a nice gudgeon on our main account. We did have the only trophy I've caught in this spot so far, and this was when I did one session earlier, was a gudgeon. Let's make sure we don't have a fish just sitting here on, yeah, we do. All right, which one do we think it is? All right, it's this one. Boy, that was really just sitting there. It's a roach. That makes sense. That makes sense. All right, that got it. All right. So I've got to remember when we do our silver comparison, I need to remember to not include this last 5 minute. I mean, there's a 5-minute break. Because obviously we caught that on float before the time had started. So it's still early. I mean, it's 1840. Donit's Rough, earliest it seems like you're going to catch it's 1900. At least that's what chat has told me this week. I would have probably said, 10 p.m. kind of like Bream is. I think of 10 p.m. as sort of the start time. Maybe 9. Either way, it's still early, but we're already. There's the first Donit's Rough. So, and that came in here on the main MDawg account. Let's see what we've got here. This is probably another roach. No, there's a nice white bream. So that was the main reason why the spot seemed so good earlier today, was because of the white bream. Honestly, I don't know. Someone in chat who's been around for a long time made the comment that I haven't seen as active a white bream spot as that in a long time. And I wholeheartedly agreed with them. It was a very active white bream spot. So we'll see if that keeps up this time for one or both accounts. There's a white bream. Now, again, I will say one difference is this is how we were fishing earlier today. Totally different direction casting. Still 10-meter clip, but I was casting towards that church up on the hill, or just left of it, if you see it up there. But this evening, when I went and looked at VK just to see if any new spots had been put up or anything that was interesting, I noticed that someone, after I had fished there, someone else had put an info on this spot on VK, and they caught a real nice Donit's Rough, but they were casting in this direction. And so just what I am guessing is that this spot, this area is so big that you're capturing the area either direction. That's what I'm guessing. So just kind of, oh, there we got points in bottom fishing there. You'll notice that a lot of the fish so far, it has felt like, on both accounts actually, and we'll do a comparison here real quick. Oh, there's a nice gudgeon. But a lot of the fish have been smaller than marker size, so we'll see if that keeps up. Let's see. About half of them over there. And again, we don't count past, let's see here, even less than half over here. After we do the silver comparison, I need to remember to turn the crayfish into, all right, so this is number 3 here. We're going to get him back in the normal position. I need to turn the crayfish into bait. That is one nice thing about if you're high level on harvesting baits, as I am on my main account at least, you can get a lot of sturgeon bait, both mussel and crawfish. If you've been going for the Donit's Rough yourself recently, or watching my stream or other people, you may know that there's another Donit's Rough spot that people have been fishing a lot. Look at this nice white bream, by the way, down by the camp. And Here's our first Donitz rough of the evening on our alternate account. Cute little fella, 366 XP. The problem with that one is even though he's a rare fish, so he's still worth a little bit of XP, he wasn't marker size. Too small. Too small. And you should have a slightly better catch rate than I'm having, no matter what level you are, because the time that it's taken me to go back and forth between accounts, I am missing some bites. So what you're seeing me get here is actually a little bit, you know, less than what you'll probably get yourself. I think I like this spot though because, and you can see, by the way, if you don't have redworm or don't want to buy redworm, here's our first zebra mussel, bottom fishing 43.7. Perfect timing. That's exactly what I was going to say. I think why I like this spot so much, at least the idea of it for SaltyMDawg, is because I think it's going to be a really, ooh, there's another mussel. Sometimes there are mussel cafe orders. I think it's going to be a really good way to mix it up as far as leveling up our bottom fishing. Catch rate's really good. We are catching some pretty good markers. Some nice variety in fish species. So I just think all that. By the way, we're using loop rig, I think, on all three of these on my main account. And because we haven't unlocked loop rig, we are using, we should be using, here, let me double check this. Loop rig. We should be using Paternoster on all three here. Paternoster. All right, there was another, I know I clicked it fast. I could tell it wasn't a marker, and plus I knew there was another fish on. But we did get another point in bottom fishing. So we've already gotten so many points. Look at that nice white bream. Any of them that look like pancakes, any basically over 200 grams, are nice. They're basically worth a silver for every 100 grams. So a 200 gram one is worth 2 silver. A 300 gram is worth a little more than 3 silver, and then it just sort of goes up proportionately from there. Unless you get a trophy, which that would go up significantly. But because of the volume of catching, those, you know, 2 3 silver white bream for a whole night of this, it ends up being a decent amount of silver. At least it was earlier today. I guess I also need to remember to cut up some of these fish on the alternate account into fish pieces. Chance of getting, oh, that's such a nice white bream. Chance of getting bait harvesting points over there. It's got to be like a white bream, I guess. Yeah, another nice one. So you can see they're not crazy experience. I mean, they're fine. They add up. That one was, what, 123? We need 400,000 for this level, though. So it's not like we're killing it on XP, but we're also level 20 fishing at a level 1 water body. So we're not expecting anything crazy. And we don't really need XP on this account. We just need silver right now. And that is why we're here, to see if we can make some silver. Nice rough. That was worth 291 XP. All right, let's see here. Gudgeon, 904 XP. That is with premium and happy hour. So XP comparison is going to be pretty messed up here based on it being premium and happy hour on my MDawg account. Ooh, Razor, nice trophy safe. All right, let's real quick at least get a little light on my main account. I don't have lanterns on Salty, but all right, is that a late perch? Late perch. Nice rough, and it gave us bottom points. Not what I meant to do. We definitely don't have time to shovel with the bite rate in this spot. All right. I'd say our catch rate between the two accounts is almost even. Because remember, we have those extra float fish on this account. Nice white bream. That's actually on there. It's just not registering. All right, let's see, what time is it? There's a rough. It's 10:42. So we are into the, definitely into the evening, not into the overnight yet though. Nice rough. But Donit's rough at any point now. Obviously really very possible. Oh, come on. That's a good one. 11,000 XP, by the way. All right, I need to remember that was on the third rod, which is the one with the small leader. There's a perch again. That's a nice one, guys. I mean, that's the, in some ways, the main reason why we're here. Although that's what brought us here. That's not necessarily what got me thinking about doing this in this spot. It's actually the catch rate and potential silver of this spot that got me thinking about doing this experiment. All right, so we're at 39 fish over there. 25, but we did turn 2 into fish pieces. We also have the extra float, so 25, 28. I mean, it is so close. I think my main account probably has about 3 to 5 more fish in the direct comparison. Is that not going to have a fish on there? That's really frustrating. It's just like the game wasn't registering yet. I mean, the fish was already taking the line. I don't know. Whatever. Oh, another one, guys. Holy cow. All right, so that one was on the middle line for what it's worth. I don't know. I think this is... Yeah. Oof. Please be a Donit's rough. Is that a sleeper? Oh, it's a little burbot. Yeah, burbot are possible here, I've been told, on the red worm. I think somebody even caught, the person who initially told me about this spot had even caught like a 1 point something burbot here, so keep that in mind. All right, the white bream have slowed down a little bit. There's a rough, which as far as going for the Donit's rough, in some ways I think slowing down on the white bream might be a good thing because it keeps my lines in the water more. But as far as my alternate account, Salty, we want... sure, a trophy Donit's rough would be interesting on our alt account. But what we want more of is a really nice bite rate. I'm actually going to do a little switcheroo here. I'm going to start moving directionally in the direction that we were going earlier today on my Salty account. And on my main account, I'm going to keep it straight ahead. And we'll just see if you think there is a perceivable difference between the two. If this changes anything at this point. There's another crawfish. See if it seems like Salty gets a higher percentage of white bream than regular MDawg. And it's going to be hard to tell, and it may not be, we may not be able to really perceive it, but, and I know that this messes up our project here by switching like midnight, but I'm just wondering if me noticing that, if there's something to that. And so we're just going to roll with it. Because as you can imagine, my main concern on my main account is having a chance at a Donit's Rough trophy. My main concern on the Salty account, and your main concern if you're here on a low-level account, is to make as much silver as possible. Oh, there's a nice bream on that red worm. And level up your bottom fishing. It's so interesting. So, I don't know, probably 10, 12 hours have gone by in real time since I last fished this spot on my main account. But we didn't catch any crawfish that I remember earlier today. And now we are catching crawfish on both accounts. So, you know, sometimes spots do change, even in real time like this. Factors change, weather change, and just RNG. We just happen to be catching them for some reason tonight. Look, here's another one. Look at all of the sturgeon bait we are catching. All right, there's a bream. Bream. I knew that was a big fish. I just was hoping it was Donit's. All right, trophy rough. Nice white bream. All right, this is the small leader, so it's not too big a fish, just because it's just a white bream, just a healthy white bream. Woo, 737, baby. All right. 2:09 a.m. Yeah, we need to catch some good fish over here on Salty. I'm not feeling like we're quite making the silver that I was hoping just yet. But still some time left. Still some time left. We may be dependent on some lucky cafe orders to do too well. Uh-oh. It's not saying there's a bite? Really? Look how far the fish took it. Man, every time I see a rough, I'm like, because the light is so bright, it really like reflects off of it. And I'm like, ooh, maybe, maybe? Nope. That stinks that whatever was on that middle rod dropped it. Now, one other small difference, there's another nice white bream on this third account. One other small difference is we are using regular worm on the second rod over on Salty. I also think another thing we could try is using size 20 hooks, at least on one rod over here. If we do this again, see what that does. I don't want to do it when I'm like actively trying to go for Donnet's Rough. I feel like size 20 is just a little too big. I think 22 is the sweet spot. Guys, we are catching some nice Donnet's Rough right now. Come on. Come on now. Holy cow. Well, with the amount of Donnets we're catching on the main account, we're not going to have a chance to... Salty's not going to be able to hang in there on silver, I don't think. You know, even close, because of those Donnets are worth a decent amount, especially at that size. That's 4. Last time, I think I only had 3 or 4, something like that. Last time I did this on my main account. I think this is the Donnet's Rough spot right now. I think camp has slowed down, at least for me. Now, we might do a sample test down there. I think the silver is lower down there because you're catching... I wasn't catching as many, like, a highest percentage of fat white bream as I am down here. So, I just feel like overall this is the healthier spot right now. But we'll see. Oh, so mean when that happens. Nice white bream. Nice dig. We are catching rough down here. We're just not catching the Donnets as much. Rough. I think that's an eyed. Okay, I wasn't sure what that was. Just, it looked weird. It wasn't like normal fish we're catching here. Well, and our XP bar has been moving up pretty quick over on Salty, so, I mean, I guess we must be doing okay on XP on some of these fish. There's a nice white bream. That's what we want. Look at that, chat. 104 gram Donnets only all to count. That's a nice one. Nice rough. Good couple of fish there on the alt account. Plus we just got a point in bottom fishing. So that means we are at 44.1. Getting ever closer to 45%. Nice rough. I'd say we probably want to do this till about 8 or 9 a.m. just to make sure. Maximize our chances. Ooh, something heavy on that middle rod, it looks like. Or just aggressive. Nice white bream. That freaks me out. Screwing up a bite that was that size, that kind of freaks me out a little bit. Probably just a white bream, but you just never know. Just freaks me out, chat. I don't like that. Messing up a bite like that right after, and then a Donnets rough comes in on the other line. At this point, I think we've caught Donnets on all 3 lines, by the way, so. I need to make sure that doesn't snap. Whatever that is. What in the world? It's not pulling, it's just heavy. Oh, it's an eyed. Should have known. Another point in bottom fishing. Another Donnets rough, another points in bottom fishing. Well, Salty is like sneakily catching up with some of these Donnets. There's a white bream. White bream. Crawfish. Man, we're getting a lot of bait. I like it. perch. So the perch have woken up. Not necessarily music to our ears, but it's all right. We'll still catch a lot of other stuff too. Terror Trip, nice Crucian trophy. I knew that was too soon. I should have just dropped it immediately. All right, so let's look at this really quick. White Bream, we have 6, 12, 18, 19, but only 6 markers. White Bream, we have 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 34, but let's see, only to here. 6, 12, 18, 24, 25. So, I mean, that's one main difference. A lot more White Bream on the loop rig and the just with the higher percentage of bottom fishing, nicer gear. I don't know what all the factors are, but higher percentage of markers and higher number of White Bream overall on the higher level account. I think what we'll end up seeing is that it's still worthwhile on Salty. I still think this will end up proving to be a pretty good experiment. If nothing else, we're at 58 fish on Salty, plus a few that we've turned into fish pieces. And so just the sheer volume with the opportunity to level up bottom fishing, I mean, that's worth it alone. Plus, we'll make a little bit of silver. Look at these fat White Bream that are coming in, though. Holy cow. Such a good White Bream spot. At least on my main account. Wide Eye Bream. I did have a couple of those earlier today. One of them was a nice marker. So if you're really wanting the Wide Eye, this is not a bad... I mean, they're about as rare as the Donich Rough are, maybe even more so. But, you know, you at least have a chance here. Sometimes it's hard to find them at all. I'm actually kind of surprised that we haven't set off the record for amount of fish caught in 1 hour on the alt account. I bet we're getting close. If we kept fishing for the full hour, surely we would do it. But I think we will stop this at about 9 a.m. So we're getting close to that time. There's a nice gudgeon. That's the other thing that's cool. During the day, you still see some White Bream, occasionally nice ones. But you see a lot more gudgeon, perch mixed in. Maybe the occasional mussel. There's a nice White Bream. Eight 11 a.m. What is this fish? Another White Bream. Now, at the other spot, at camp, I'm talking about, you catch a lot more roach. So, if you by chance really want some common roach bait fish, that's actually a pretty good spot to get bait fish roach. And you get some White Bream there, but you're going to get more here. So if you want White Bream bait fish, of course, this is the better spot. If you want roach bait fish, the camp Donich Rough spot is better. Either one of them, you can get gold bait. I think you get more crawfish here. I think you get more mussels at camp. It's what it seems to me. Although you get muscles at both, obviously. And that's just with the little bit of time I've spent on both spots lately. I'm not sure about that at all. Another white bream. 545 gram. Holy cow. The pancakes keep coming. Another white eye. So that's something else that comes during the day, apparently. All right, we're going to stop here and go do some comparisons. Oh. It said I had a fish on. Come on. All right, so I think I should just respawn on my main account, and then we'll walk it up on my other one. All right, I'm just going to respawn. There's like very little chance of us catching a Donit's Rough this late in the morning. Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see, like, what if we did use a size 20 hook on one rod? Trying to think, what could we do? There's another nice white bream. What could we do to increase the quality just ever so slightly? All right, let's hustle up here. Are there any nice cafe orders? Well, we could have done that common roach if we'd been at the other spot. Gudgeon, I don't know that either account got 5 gudgeon. If you stay long enough, obviously you would. Bleak, that would be an easy order right now. In fact, I'm tempted to go do that on our salty account just for fun. All right, so we only have 1 roach here, 1 roach here, and we can't share roach. Obviously, this white bream order is sick. So 4 non-marker white bream for 12 silver. Yes, please. All right, zebra mussel, no, and no. Gudgeon, 3. And, oh, we did get 5. All right, so 5 gudgeon for 17 silver on main account. So that order is possible, obviously. Dace, you catch those down at the other site. All right, so first of all, let's get rid of the fish that I had that were separated. Wait. 40, 41, 42. Oh, right here. All right, so that's 7 silver. All right, so if you look at everything, 183 silver on main account to 121. Wow, that's big better than I thought it was going to be. On alt account, you see that Donit's Rough are going to be at the top. That's some good silver. Some good silver. We'll take that for sure. Did only thing I don't want to include is the roach. Sell everything else for now. And here we want to turn any crayfish we have. Let's turn it into sturgeon meat bait real quick. Do we also have any mussels on this account? No. Okay. All right, so everything else, 162 silver. Obviously, we will take it. And we could snap it, but that's okay. By the way, red worms are in stock here at Winding, which is what makes this all possible. I think we'll try. All right, we are gonna, I guess we're gonna do this real quick just for fun. So I think that was a pretty cool experiment. How long does this cafe order have, by the way? Okay, plenty of time. Plenty of time. So how much silver are we up to? 574? We're getting there. We're getting there. All right, let's go. Let's go try to catch some quick bleak. This is always, when bleak are this active, this is always a good thing to do. And it's also good to remember to not forget about leveling up your float fishing. Later in the game, I mean, even now on bleak and dace and that kind of stuff, it can be very lucrative. But later on, it gets to be very lucrative at times. And so it is worth leveling up. So let's just get these out here and see. We're going just over 50%. Oh, that's close. I forget like how different rods act differently. I guess we'll do 80%. It's probably a little better. See if we can catch these pretty good here. Oh. Oh, goodness. All right, bleak number 1. So we are using bloodworm. We're 10.1 on our float fishing now. Let's see if this does get a bite this close, by the way. I'm curious. Oh, yeah. So you may not have to be as far out as I am casting here. 10.3 on float fishing. We're just going to keep it right nice and close here. See if that seems to work just as good. All right, let's see how this goes. So far we've got 2 bleak. Both of them qualify. Oh, false alarm there. Oh, there he is. Uh-oh. All right, we're going to try the double here, folks. If that first one stays on, we'll be doing really good here. He is still on. Let's see if he stays on. Yes. So once you hook them, once you confirm that they're hooked, they're way more likely to stay on even if you set it down. So when you're fishing with multiple float rods, that's kind of a little trick there. If you've got, that situation, go ahead and, set the hook and then let him swim off. Like, here we go. Yep, we're going to do it again. I think. Now, unlike last time, this one's just sitting there this time. I think he's still on though. Yeah, there he goes. Because that's a roach. That's a good example. What a good example of the difference in roach and like other fish like bleak. That roach was just sitting there. He was hooked in, but he still was sitting there. He then finally started to swim away. Uh-oh. 2 bites at the same time in a second here. Oh, maybe not. That one went away. This one we got. You get some, you lose some. But look at this, 11.3 on float fishing. Look how quickly and easily we're able to level up float fishing. And these setups, obviously these are the beginner float rods. These cost next to nothing. Once you get used to it, you could easily do this with 3 rods as well. We're using bloodworms for this. You could also use casters. You could use pearl barley, often works really good. Obviously flies are really good, especially if you want to catch a few frogs mixed in. 11.5. Sometimes flies are out of stock here. So don't feel like you can't do this just because there's no flies. As you see here, I'm using bloodworms, the cheapest of all the baits, unless you have thousands of pearl barley from leveling up. But the bite rate is so nice and they're so aggressive, you don't have to deal with nibbling, all that kind of stuff. Man, this is awesome. This is so good. 59 gram bleak, 11.9 float. I mean, this is just perfect. I love it. This is my favorite bleak spot in the whole game. There's also a really good one at Belaya that's fun. And obviously there's some really good ones at Volkov that are sometimes also fun. But if I had to choose one, I would say it's this one. Because this one's available even from level 1, you can do this. When this spot's going off like this, it's just so good. Look at that sleeper. Sneaking in. Just sneaking into the action. And that's one of the things, like, if you don't want to catch anything but bleak and possibly frog, then flies is the way to go. If you're willing to occasionally catch a sleeper or a roach or something like that, then that's where casters, pearl barley, and bloodworms all have the possibility of getting that result. There's a nice bleak, 41 gram. We're at 12.3. I mean, we've already finished the cafe order easily. This is just so fun. 12.5%. If I could do this on both accounts at the same time, I would, but obviously I can't do that. But if you're at Winding and you see a bleak order, come check this spot. There's always active spots here on bleak. This is just, to me, the most fun of the active spots. Big bleak. And obviously we're using 24 hooks. Fairly small line. I don't think you have to like stress too much about the thickness of your line. I wouldn't put super thick stuff out there, but I mean, this is just like 4.8 on this one. And we'll see what this one is. This is 3.1. Both very cheap lines. So you can do it with just about anything. There's a frog. 13.2% float. By the way, to me, not very common for that to happen on bloodworm. I think that's so much more common when you're using fly than bloodworm, but obviously it can happen occasionally. This is probably not a bleak. We'll see. Oh, it jumped off, so we won't see. Did you see how it was nibbling like that? Typically, that's going to be a roach or something else. Bleak and frogs usually take it and go. You don't have to worry about the nibbles as much with bleak. Which is why they are ultimately one of the more fun fish to go for at low levels for float. 40 grams. All these healthy bleaks, I mean, they add up. They're good silver. If you're really low level, they're good XP. Reasonably easy chance to trophy. Sometimes this could be an early trophy for you if you really go for it. And just look at how our float fishing is climbing so quick because of the bite rate, right? And we're so low level, we're going to get a point just about every fish we catch. That is a perch. Uh-oh. Look how bouncy that is. Okay, that roach fell off. I'm okay with that. Faked me out. That bleak faked me out. He took it up under and then let go. He was about to come back and take it for real, but I went too quick. I don't know about this. I know about this one, though. Ooh, 69 grams. That's a nice one. I'm pretty sure this is a roach. Or a perch. 13.9% float fishing. $106 experience for a barely marker size bleak. Pretty nice. %14 float fishing. And if you do this in the first thing in the morning, that's when a lot of the trophies will come out. Sometimes late afternoon, evening. I find the most come out early though. You want to be out here 6, 7 a.m. Start seeing the bite rate pick up. Shoot. Oh, we still got it. Oh, I should have dropped it. 67. Oh, I can't believe we still got this one too. It's a sleeper though. All right. Be right back. Wow, this was fun. Winding Rivulet, pretty strong right now. If you're low to mid-level looking for a place to get some fishing in, you could do a lot worse. I have a feeling this won't be the last time you see a Winding Rivulet video. I've been streaming so much, it's hard to get to these videos, but if I have time to do them, I suspect we'll be doing more from Winding Rivulet. All right, let's see how this... let's see how these bleak do. We should be able to sell non-markers for this order. Oh yeah, perfect. 5 non-markers, 21 silver. Just amazing. Come on now. We're 1 roach away. It's only worth 7 silver, so I'm not going to sweat it. All right, let's look at the bleak, sort by price. 39 silver that quickly on just a few bleak and leveled up our float fishing, you know? I mean, it's just awesome. All fish, 42 silver. We're up to 638 silver. We're doing good, chat. Thank y'all for watching. Thanks for all the support. Let me know how your winding rivulet fishing is going these days, and I will see you next time.